Hello everyone, my name is Eric Azawani and I'm giving a walkthrough of ArcManifold, our crisis simulation platform. Now, within our platform, exercise planners are able to go through their design process, but most importantly, are able to stress test those exercises that they designed. Starting out right with our TTX Exchange, this is a repository of crisis slash exercises, right? And so for an exercise designer, when they do go through the process of designing an exercise, they can actually export their design to the repo for other exercise planners to use in the future. Jumping into our foundation wizard, this is where we set the stage, right? So for an exercise planner, they can pick what kind of org type they're interested in, some predefined hazard scenarios, and actually, more importantly, they can also inject their hazard vulnerability assessment in here, and our LM will extract some of the hazards that they should care about. Jumping into the frameworks, we have HC, we have NIST, and designers are able to define a custom framework that they would like to use for their exercise design process. And our compliance officer is our LLM for this page that provides guided learning to the designer, right? It also does a couple more things. So if we put a document in here, it'll go through and we can analyze the document and find if there are any detected gaps. In this case, for example, in our emergency operations plan. So if we give it a second, let's pull that up. It'll tell us some of this information which might be useful in the design process or just in general. Diving into Architect's Canvas, we have where we define network participants, your MSCL, and you also get a mind map. When I fork one of the TTX scenarios, we'll see this in real time. We also have another assistant here that's able to aid in this process and actually take actions on behalf of the exercise planners if they choose to do so. Now, our mission control is actually where we do our stress testing. I'll come back to this. With our dashboard, this is where we see our entire flow, right? So we have our design process, we can simulate, evaluate, and improve. And then we have some information with regards to the exercise health, detected gaps, and we're able to, in here, generate some of the documents that we care about. So the situation manual, um, event list, EEG, and then the AR. Documents just shows us everything that we've input into our system slash project so far. So if we go here, we fork template, we have some things that are now predefined. If we go to Canvas, this is pre-populated from that data. We have some injects that the exercise will be using, and then our associated. Now, our mission control slash crisis engine is the test bed where a lot of stress testing happens, right? So for an exercise planner, they might want to, after the design process, simulate and see how the exercise plays out in an actual exercise. And some of the values here is that one, we have a red cell that will dynamically recommend injects based off of the injects that were predefined by the exercise planner as the exercise plays through. And another important factor here as well too is that our back end uses physics slash symbolic engine because you can't really trust the LLM, which is would presumably be the white cell, to adjudicate properly based off of certain metrics like fuel reserve, staff fatigue, and some of this census, at least for a hospital. For all those other organization types, we have predefined physics modules that ideally capture some of the things that those types of orgs would care about, and that would depend on symbolic execution slash a physics guided execution for proper adjudication. Now we have here our white cell has already started making. I'm sorry, our red cell has already started making recommendations of injects to add in, and we see that our white cell is adjudicating, and then eventually our blue cells will start thinking and then giving us what their reasoning slash thought process is as they go through the simulation. So if we click here, we see the thought process of the red cell. We can see the reasoning process of adjudication by the white cell, so on and so forth. Eventually, as well too, we'll also see the full reasoning trace for the blue cell, and all the participants get logged here. And here we just have our telemetry, right? All the things that are happening through the exercise. And that's it.